Video games are divided into a very large sea of different genres, and of course, the horror genre is in a league of its own. Just like horror movies, these games are full of jump scares, terrifying villains, and high-intensity storylines, except they are a lot more immersive, and Paranormal Tales is one of the best horror video games of all time. Let's dive into the video to talk all about the game and more. Starting off, Bodycam horror game, inspired by PT, locks you in a forest nightmare. The new independent horror game, Paranormal Tales, will immerse players in scary survival scenarios and lifelike settings, and is based on Hideo Kojima's PT. The game, created by Horror Cam Committee, mimics the appearance and feel of actual body cam footage by drawing inspiration from found footage horror films. A recent PlayStation 5 play of PT by a tech-savvy enthusiast suggests Paranormal Tales could be the ideal spiritual successor. The horrific survival game PT, which was initially released in 2014, was eventually identified as a playable teaser for Hideo Kojima's next Silent Hills project. In the brief demo, players had to solve environmental riddles while constantly being pursued by a ghost named Lisa. Sadly, Kojima's disagreement with publisher Konami resulted in the cancellation of the whole Silent Hills game, and PT was subsequently removed from digital marketplaces. PT has developed into something of an urban legend among gamers because of its iconic horror atmosphere and challenging gameplay. Despite the recent announcement of several new Silent Hill games, Paranormal Tales appears to be the most similar to PT. Following up on how does Paranormal Tales compare to PT? The new independent horror game, Paranormal Tales, appears to borrow heavily from PT, while also attempting to create a disturbing and extremely immersive experience. The landscapes in the game are startlingly realistic, and the body cam style gameplay helps to create the impression of found footage fear. Players in Paranormal Tales will encounter a variety of scenarios, one of which has them searching for their dog, Teddy, in the woods, while being tortured by a spectral haunt. The game pays homage to PT with everything from the title to the eerie design of its ghost, but the innovative body cam idea also promises to make Paranormal Tales a compelling horror experience on its own. Moving on, Paranormal Tales looks worthy of following PT. Although Kojima's survival horror game was abandoned over 10 years ago, many fans continue to wish for a comeback. For instance, there have been allegations about Hideo Kojima and abandoned that the independent horror game was really Silent Hills in disguise. The initial trailer for the game, which was created by Blue Box Game Studios and debuted in 2021, was visually reminiscent of Hideo Kojima's earlier works and the Silent Hill franchise. According to reports, widespread suspicions about Kojima's involvement with abandoned, delayed progress. And as of right now, the project is still without a release date or any significant updates. Fans of survival horror have been waiting for a while for a good replacement for PT, and Paranormal Tales may really live up to that tradition. The playable teaser for Silent Hills served as the direct inspiration for the game, but it will also stand out because of its hyper-realistic landscapes and found footage body cam perspective. Sadly, PT cannot currently be downloaded and played, but Paranormal Tales could be the closest substitute. Lastly, PT Anniversary prompts remarks from the person who removed it. An ex-Konami worker has provided some insight into the processes involved in releasing the famed and frightening PT demo into PSN 8 years ago, as well as the interaction with Sony that led to its removal. Players were baffled by the frightening repeating halls in the initial PT demo, which was first made available for free on the PlayStation 4 in 2014. The passageways became more insane as players advanced. The demo, however, was not what it looked to be at first. Players cooperated to disprove the idea that the demo was produced by the up-and-coming independent studio 7780s Studios. In reality, it was a magnificent collaboration between Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro for Konami's eager eagerly awaited remake of Silent Hills, as fans pieced together the clues. Sadly, the innovative and masterful marketing strategy went for nothing. The long-term collaboration between Konami and Kojima ended the next year, ultimately ending Konami's intentions for the Silent Hill revival. But even 8 years later, people still remember the PT demo. The demo was taken off PSN and is no longer available for download. Using games like Media Molecule's Dreams, terrifyingly immersive Half-Life Alyx mods, and most recently Halo Infinite's Forge mode, fans have gone to great lengths to recreate the haunted hallways and shocking events of the demo with surprising accuracy. Fans are still regretting the potential of Kojima's Silent Hills. Up next is the list of best horror games on PC. Starting off at number 6 is Stories Untold. Stories Untold is a frightfully inventive collection of 4 short horror stories, each of which uses a unique piece of vintage technology as the primary medium for its twisted story. You are thrust in front of a large, outdated CRT monitor in the first episode, where you must play the terrifying text adventure game, The House Abandoned. It doesn't take long for your surroundings to start to resemble the one in the novel you're reading. As the lights start to flicker, unexplained thuds continue, and imagined noises keep you glued to the screen in expectation of a jump scare that never materializes. Stories Untold's 4 episodes take a more deliberate approach than most other horror games, valuing ambiance and mood over quick thrills. Moving on to number 5 is Little Nightmares. Even if Little Nightmares is now on its second installment, it's still worthwhile to play the first game in the series, since it may even be scarier than the sequel when it comes to setting the stage for the series' climactic clash with the Thin Man. You take on the role of Six, a little child attempting to escape the horrors of the isolated vessel, a location shrouded in mystery and malevolence, set amid the cramped hallways of the Maw. In order to navigate a dangerous labyrinth of rooms and corridors while avoiding the dwellers inside, you'll need to solve riddles. You are urgently trying to get away, but the monstrous twin chefs are chasing you with their razor-sharp butcher knives, while the janitor's lengthy arms weave through the air vents after you. Little Nightmares may be a little game, but it succeeds in building suspense in a dark, unpleasant setting, weaving a terrifying tale and leading us on a terrifying trip that culminates in an epic conclusion. At number 4 is Inside. Similar to Little Nightmares, our protagonist has to flee a dark environment where he is chased, and by himself by navigating hazardous hazards and evading detection. He can direct the helpless, unaware crowds of individuals gathered about to assist him in moving things and solving tasks by wearing a mind control helmet. Like its predecessor Limbo, you'll definitely die a lot, and all the ways you might pass away are gruesome and brutal before the screen goes dark. Along with the restrained use of music and ambient lighting, Inside's graphics design employs monochrome backgrounds and infrequent bursts of color to create a really unpleasant experience. This creepy, narrative-driven platform game is a horrifyingly terrifying journey. Next up on number 3 is Oxenfree. Like other cabin-in-the-woods style horror stories, the narrative opens with a group of friends traveling to a lonely island to party. However, once they arrive and set foot on the island, which is home to long-forgotten monsters, the party takes a nasty turn. Players take on the role of Alex, a disobedient teenager who creates a rift leading to another universe. And you may influence the plot by selecting speech fragments and decisions that affect how the game is played out. It's a supernatural thriller that alternates between a chilling adventure game and a paranormal horror to create a tense, unsettling atmosphere that lasts right up to the shocking conclusion. Oxenfree succeeds in bending genres into something enchanted, lovely, and absolutely horrifying. On number 2 position is Doom 3. When it comes to the finest horror games, fear is the only factor that matters, and Doom 3 is still terrifying as hell. Doom 3 was released in 2004, making it almost as ancient to us plus as the original Doom was when it was released. As classic a shooter as they come, the emphasis in this game is on a fast expanding arsenal of weaponry to use against an army of demons, spiders with upside-down baby faces, and strange alien bears. The id Tech 4 engine was a miracle of its time, giving a previous array of flat brown sprites an incomprehensible amount of depth. Finally, in the #1 spot is The Quarry. The 2015 surprise smash PS4 exclusive Until Dawn told a cabin-in-the-woods style teen horror story by letting you make all the tough choices. The Quarry is the newest game in the Dark Pictures anthology from developers Supermassive Games, takes place in a lonely wooded location, and follows a group of young counselors on their last night at camp. The gang settles in for a night of partying, only to discover that they are being hunted by the village's bloodthirsty residents and another creature that is hiding in the woods. Getting every character out alive is a straightforward goal, so now you can see how far your bad choices might go if you're usually the one pointing out bad choices characters make in horror films. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about Paranormal Tales? Comment below, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.